Then he came to another cop standing in front of a big theater. He thought of trying something over there. He began to shout as if he had too much to drink. His voice was as loud as he could make it. He danced, cried out, and he created all such mess over there. It was one of those college boys. He won't hurt anything. He have orders to let them about. One of the man asked the cop, why can't he arrest the boy who is creating a noise over there? And the cop said, no, these college boys, they have already got the permission from me to enjoy the party. They are enjoying the party over there. So they will have all such mess over there. They will yell, they will dance, they will jump, they will create all such things over there, and I have no rights to punish them because they have already got the permission from me. So again Soapy failed in his attempt. Again Soapy started walking. Then he saw a man in a shop buying a newspaper. The man's umbrella stood beside the door. Soapy stepped inside the shop, took the umbrella and walked slowly away. The man followed him quickly. My umbrella, he said. Oh, is it? Said Soapy. Why don't you call a cop? I took it. Your umbrella. I took your umbrella. Why can't you call a cop? Why don't you call a cop? Soapy repeated again and again. There's one standing at the corner, he said. The man walked slowly. Soapy also did the same. But he had a feeling that he was going to fall again. The cop looked at the two men. I said, this is my umbrella. But the man said, that is his umbrella. But sir, this is really my umbrella, said Soapy. Then the man thought, already he got the umbrella somewhere. Actually, the man didn't buy this umbrella. It is not his umbrella. He got this umbrella from as he was walking somewhere. He found the umbrella somewhere near the shop, and from there he took the umbrella. So he is not the real owner of the umbrella. As Soapy was demanding for that, this man thought, let him give the umbrella to Soapy. It's mine, cried Soapy with anger in his voice. He threw the umbrella as far as he could throw it. He talked to himself about cops, that what he thought of them. Because he wished to be arrested, they seemed to believe he was like a king who could do no wrong. At last, Soapy came to one of the quiet streets on the side of the city. At last, Soapy came to one of the quiet streets on the side of the city, the Madison Square. He was going home. Although home was only a seat in a park, but at a very quiet corner, Soapy stopped. There was his childhood home. Though through one window, he could see a soft light shining. That had been his living room, where he spent many happy, peaceful moments. Sweet music came to Soapy's ears and seemed to hold him there. He couldn't walk anymore. He was able to hear a sweet song through the window. The moon was above, peaceful and bright. There were few people passing on the road, and the music that came from the room held Soapy there, for he had known it well known long ago. He was very much used to that song. In those days, his life contained such thing as mothers and flowers and high hopes and friends and clean thoughts and clean clothes. There was a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. He saw with sick fear how he had fallen. He saw his worthless days, his wrong desires, his dead hopes, the lost power of his mind. And also in a moment, his heart answered this change in his soul. So, while Soapy was hearing the song changed his mind. Slowly, Soapy's mind started to change. Soapy wanted to live a normal life like other people live now. Because Soapy don't have any job and money, Soapy was doing all such crimes there. But now the song has changed the mind of the Soapy, and he want to live a sweet life. That sweet music had changed him. Tomorrow he would find work. A man had once offered him a job. He would find that man tomorrow. He would be somebody in the world. And Soapy felt a hand on his arm. Suddenly, he looked around into the broad face of a cop. "What are you doing here?" "Simply loitering here and there," asked the cop. "Nothing," said Soapy. "You think I believe that?" said the cop. Full of his new strength, Soapy began to argue, and it is not wise to argue with a New York cop. "Come along," said the cop. 3 months prison on the Blackwell Island, said the judge to Soapy next morning. So again, Soapy was taken to the Blackwell Island. So children, this is the irony of the life. What we think many times that won't happen, and whatever happens we have to take it for granted. Only then the life will be happy. Thank you, children.